Welcome to Oddball. I'm Amin Elhassan. That over there is Izzy Gutierrez. And Izzy, the conference finals have commenced. And we have one team one step closer to the NBA Finals. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder, who took game one of the Western Conference Finals, 114-88. The Thunder outscored the T-Wolves 70-40 in the second half. SGA, after a very slow start, got hot in the third, scored and assisted on 20 points in the third quarter, where the T-Wolves only scored 18. But all anyone wants to talk about is free throws. He's a foul merchant. He's flopping. He's fouling him too much. He's not doing enough fouls.
All great points. All great points, Amin.
Those are great points.
Granted. Yeah. However, here's my question. Whether or not he was foul baiting, whether or not he's a player who deserves those free throws. You said yourself, the topic was free throws. That's all anybody wants to talk about.
Yeah.
So does that mean they were entertained last night or they weren't entertained? Like, were you, I know you like to be right. I know, so that's entertaining. But were you really entertained?
I thought he put on a masterclass in the second half.
Okay.
Mid-range jumpers. Okay. Yeah. Attacking the rim. Crazy finishes, all balanced finishes. It's clear this dude is incredible at playing basketball.
Not questioning that at all.
Beyond the art of drawing fouls, which is an art, right? Beyond that, he busted ass. Like, he busted their ass. They had no answers for him.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how anyone watched that. It was like, yawn, boring. All he's doing is getting the free throw line. Like, what are you watching?
I'll tell you why, is because unlike you, I don't know if people know exactly what to talk about when it comes to SGA or what exactly they're like enamored with. Because look, it was Dorish, right? It was ESPN last night. Like the focus on his plant foot and how he gets all that space off of it. I want to see Anthony Edwards dunk the ball. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see these guys lose a guy. I want to see Jalen Brunson lose a dude 9 feet to the left and shoot a wide open jumper. I want to see somebody finish over somebody. A lot of that stuff just doesn't happen with SGA. Again, not his game, not his fault, and not even saying that he doesn't deserve all the accolades that he gets. I'm saying I'm watching these games. I'm not having as much fun watching it. I'm needing more from Anthony Edwards just to say, man, that was a great Western Conference Finals game.
Well, I mean, I think that's fair. I think if the Wolves don't show up, it's only game one. Obviously, they win game two. They got what they came for, quote unquote. But if the Wolves don't provide enough of a resistance, then it's not going to be as fun. But just looking in the vacuum of the way Shai Gilgeous-Alexander plays, I'm staggered that there's this many people complaining about it.
I'll add to your point real quick. I actually thought last night, and for the majority of these playoffs, he's not getting the calls that he even got in the regular season. Like, if this was a regular season game, he might have had 25 free throws.
Right.
And so I say that as a compliment to, he is adjusting his game enough, and he is forcing those fouls, like not just the little ticky-tack ones that you questioned in the past. He is getting those fouls, and whether he's selling them or not, it's not that he's not actually getting the fouls. Those are legitimate fouls.
One of the things that's very fascinating to me is Minnesota last night took over 60% of their field goal attempts were threes. Meanwhile, over about 60% of Oklahoma City's shots were in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
And I seem to remember a series in the last round where that's all people yelled about. Boston's taking too many threes. Oh my God, Boston's taking threes.
Great point.
Right? That's what we said. So now it's almost like there's a manual, and I got to look up in the manual team and then the thing that we bitch about for most of the time. Celtics, they shoot too many threes. Oklahoma City, they're foul merchants, right? And that's the thing we're going to do. And it's like, all of a sudden, no one wants to talk about Minnesota shot too many threes.
Right. And you know who's responsible for that? Partly, it's Chris Finch. Mostly, I mean, if you talk about the narrative that's been driven here, because go back to the regular season. Do we remember where this narrative started? Because there was a certain coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves who played again against OKC and had this rant about how SGA gets too many fouls.
It's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. You know, they really do. They foul all the time. And then, you know, you can't really touch Shai. And it's a very frustrating thing, and it takes a lot of mental toughness to try to play through it.
Now, that was February 24th. They had played the Thunder 3 times in 11 days, almost like a playoff series. And this is how frustrated he was then. Even now, without him getting, or without Shai getting, like I said, some of those calls that I felt like he got in the regular season, this doesn't really play well because, again, SGA, head of the snake, go through those reviews, go through those replays, you're going to see the fouls. This sort of reminds me of, you know, the Dwayne Wade 2006. It drove me insane when you hear people like Mike Ryan just randomly say that was fixed and there was a referee in there fixing the 2006 finals. When go show me a clip where he wasn't fouled, Dwayne Wade, right? And same thing with SGA. Go show me a clip where he wasn't fouled, then we can talk. If you want to talk about selling it, that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, I got in front of me the top free throw attempts per 100 possessions, right? Among players who shot 75% in the playoffs, right? The reason why I put 75% is we want to filter out the hack-a-shacks. The like guys like Shaq and Wilt Chamberlain who shot a lot of free throws because they were being intentionally fouled, right? So if you're shooting 75% and shooting a bunch of free throws, it's not because of intentional fouling. It's because you baited, quote unquote, people. Do you know where SGA lands on this list? 160th.
Wow.
He's 160th, right? You want to hear some names that are above him? And by the way, obviously some of these names appear multiple times because they did it for multiple postseasons. How about people like Michael Jordan, Reggie Miller, Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, Karl Malone, Bob Pettit, Bob Cousy, Elgin Baylor, Allen Iverson, Derek Coleman, Charles Barkley, Dolph Shea, Sean Kemp, Tim Duncan. I'm skipping tons today. Ronnie Cycli, George Mikan, Jerry West, Dominique Wilkins, Devin Booker.
Well, you said
Buck
a name
Williams.
there. All right, you said a name that people
Vince
just be
Carter.
like, wait a second. No, well, not that one. It was Michael Jordan. So let's check out this stat line. You've got Michael Jordan, 3 for 18 for 22 points. Look at those free throws there. I don't even think the phrase free throw merchant was even an embryo at this time, right? And yet, look who's getting interviewed after the game. Oh, it's Michael Jordan.
He had a great game. He scored 22.
Yeah, a great game. He also, SGA, look, I just, regardless of how he plays, how he gets the free throws, I think it's pretty clear. Like, he is not the worst at it. He is not flopping. He is elite. He is arguably the best player in the league right now. Yeah. So to me, I didn't want to harp on it because I don't want to knock the league. I don't want to knock the Western Conference Finals or take anybody's joy. I just didn't have as much fun watching it. Now, but it's possible I was distracted by that Panthers hockey game. But
I mean, I guess my thing is this: like the concept of being fouled a lot for a great player, it ain't new. And it's not like a rediscovered thing. It's been constant, number one. Number two, Shai, in comparison to so many others, isn't egregious. Number three, I think, is the point that you made. The reason why it's a quote-unquote egregious with Shai is because he doesn't look the part that we've been accustomed to seeing. Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Oh, I got fouled. Yeah, I shot free throws because they couldn't guard me. But this dude is slithery. He's deceptive.
He's all arms and legs.
Off rhythm, off beat. Like, everything about him is unorthodox. And for people like, oh, that's not what I'm accustomed to seeing. Huh? Like, that's all this is just people saying that they don't like the idea that not a big physical specimen is the one going.
There's absolutely nothing dramatic about them. Not their players, not their coach, not their crowd who everybody wears the same damn shirts. Like,
I've been saying it. Yeah. I've been saying it since January. Yeah. People are searching for a reason for why not, as opposed to
we're searching for drama right now, and you kind of found it, and it has nothing to do with them. It was you saw Michael Malone taking part in the media, right? You saw the first thing that he said, had a chance to take a shot at Nikola Jokic, and he did, because he said, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he showed why he's the MVP. First of all, what does he know that the rest of us don't know? Because they haven't given out the damn award yet. What are we waiting for?
What are we waiting for? Good question.
But that's clearly a shot. And
is it?
What do you mean?
I just think it's just like, hey, like this. It's the typical like.
Typical. You just said it.
Talk.
It's lazy ass. It's lazy. You're just coming into the media game, and you're going to be like, oh yeah, it's because he's the MVP. Come on now. You know you're saying that because your guy is no longer the MVP.
You think he doesn't like his guy? You think he's like, oh man, Nikola, here's a big FU?
Oh, he knows more than we do. He knows that Jokic was probably not just a part of the firing, but definitely okayed it. I mean, you saw how he treated, how he sort of coached the team afterward. So I'm pretty sure he's taking
I think you guys are taking it too far. I don't think there's any sort of. Yeah, I didn't see anything there, anything in that comment. You could call it, I'll agree if you want to call it like lazy TV work, but that's what everybody does. Like when an MVP favorite has a great game, he said, that's why he's the MVP. Like, that's not a new thing. The only reason why I would have just
like, if he says, if like, it was Anthony Edwards who had the big game, what are you going to say there?
Well, he's not the reason, but he's not on the MVP ballot. Like, what would you want him to say? Say, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander showed us why he's an MVP finalist. Like, come on, man. I don't know. I think you guys are just doing that kind of talk. I mean, what is he supposed to say? Like MVP finalist?
That would have been better. That would have been better because you know what? He wouldn't have contradicted himself so badly because back in March, when he was asked about the MVP, what did he say? He said, if you look at his stats blindly, he will win the MVP 10 out of 10 times if people just judge it honestly. And now what? Now he's saying that's why SGA is the MVP. 10 out of 10 times, 100 out of 100, whatever the hell the quote was, he said 100% of the time you would vote for Nikola Jokic. And now he's just saying, oh, this is why Shai's the MVP. Well, were you wrong then or were you wrong now? Because you're wrong one of those times.
Nobody cares, man. What are you doing? Stop being a nerd, Izzy. Keeping track of what people say. Come on, man.
It was one of the most memorable quotes about the MVP.
Was it or was it not an MVP quality performance? That's the question.
It was. Is that why he's the MVP?
That's why he's the MVP.
Not really, because he's in the playoffs. His MVP is a regular season award.
It's just one of those things. It's like to be the man, you got to beat the man. It's just something people say. It doesn't really mean anything.
If he would have said this, if he would have said, the reason SGA is so much better than Ant right now, to me anyway, is because the second that dude gets shoulder to shoulder with you on a drive, he's got you. He knows exactly what. It doesn't matter what the defense does after that. He's got a counter for every single move. Anthony Edwards wants one thing. He just wants to yam it on you. And so when he gets shoulder, you're like, oh, I'm getting all excited. He's going to get to. He doesn't really have a game plan after that when they really collapse the defense. And what drives me crazy about him is that he just gives up on it when he sees it. Like, it's like, all right, pass off. I'm just going to do this over here. Whereas you've got to work the shot clock. You've either got to attack that defense and try to get a foul, work the shot clock so that the defense has to recover, maybe do that multiple times. Maybe they make one mistake and that's your opportunity there. But there was that one play, I think it was 73-62. They're down 11. The game's kind of getting away from them. Early in the shot clock, pulls up for like a 28-footer. And I'm like, Dude, that's the danger of being Dwayne Wade with a 3-point shot because you're going to rely on that 3-point shot too much.
It's the old Michael Jordan quote where he hit all those threes against the Blazers and they asked him like, oh, how cool is that? Like, it's cool, but I don't want to get too good at it because I don't want to have to rely, like to get comfortable. Well, I'm comfortable taking this shot because I'm good at it rather than putting pressure. So Anthony Edwards, 5 of 13 from the field, 3 assists, 4 turnovers, was minus 23. It's the worst mark of any player in the game. He missed the beginning of the second quarter with an ankle injury, but he came back later and tried to dunk it on somebody.
Dort,
so I'm like,
Lou Dort.
On Lou Dort. So I'm pretty like with ankle. I'm sure it was fine enough for him to be out there. And to your point, and to the point, the overall point about the Timberwolves, a lot of threes.
Yeah, too many threes. And he sort of, he leads the way there. If he's setting the tone, right? We know he can do either. He can get to the rim whenever he wants. He can shoot a 3 whenever he wants. He's settling for that 3 way too often. And I know we talked about Julius Randle before the series, and we kind of knew that, like, hey, he's probably going to get some numbers, but it's going to come with a handful of offensive fouls, turnovers, maybe not very efficient. Last night, pretty efficient. I don't think that's sustainable, right? So the best way for the Timberwolves to have a shot is for Anthony Edwards to put up 30 shots, no?
let me just be clear about Julius Randle, because like he hit his first couple of threes and he started blowing kisses at the crowd, and I said, this is exactly why they're going to lose this game.
Hall of Famer.
Because he feels like, oh, I got it tonight. And like, that is the road to hell is paved with Julius Randle strong first halves. And sure enough, he was garbage in the second half.
If Ant, and I know the ankle injury, you can't really know how much that affected him. If Ant meets him with that level of aggressiveness, if Ant does something where he gets to the line 10 times, like, don't look at SGA's free throws and say, man, getting too many free throws. Go get free throws, Anthony Edwards. Like, you've got a bunch of guys in front of you. They're all good defenders. You brought that up. Everybody on that team's a pretty good defender. They're not all depoys. They're not all guys that Anthony Edwards thinks he can't get past. He knows he can get past them. Go work that offense, get to the free throw line, take 30 plus shots. Nobody's going to complain if you do that.
That's always the trick, right? Like whenever a guy's taking less than 20 shots and has a bad game, you say to yourself, what's going on here, man? Like if you're going to go out swinging. It's better than having your bench players stink it up. Dante DiVincenzo, Naz Reid, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who, by the way, Izzy, I don't know if you know this. He's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's cousin.
What?
They only mentioned it like 8 billion times on the broadcast. Anytime he does anything, and Shai's cousin gets the rebound. Like, what are you talking about? But they shot a combined 7 of 36 from the field, 5 of 28 from 3.
You cannot let them shoot you out of a game. You got to be the reason you get shot out of a game. Because again, we're not saying afterward, man, what are you doing, Anthony Edwards? Give the ball to Naz Reid. No, we're saying, hey, you tried. Maybe next time it'll work. This time it didn't.
You did your best, but I guess your best wasn't good enough.
I got a question for you.
It's
up? OKC related. Would you rather right now, OKC fan, because they're favorites in this series, they'll be favorite whoever they play in the next series. Would you rather, as an OKC fan right now, finish this out, or go in a time machine, go back to 2017, and KD never leaves?
No, this is it, right?
This really? Yeah. So you don't think if KD and Russell were back together, I don't know, Billy Donovan, whatever, that they would have found a way to win a championship or to get to a point where they're favored like they are right now?
I think, no, they would have absolutely been favored and would have had multiple trips and all that stuff.
Okay.
But I think right now, the time machine for them is at 2012, right? This isn't 2017. This is 2012, which is that first time the Thunder went to the finals, and that feeling of like, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to run this league forever for the next decade. And 2017.
Right, but the only thing that happened there was they lost to the Heat.
But I know, but I'm just saying like that's the feeling that they've got right now. 2017, regardless of whether Durant stayed or went, it was already starting to feel like this ain't working. Because,
really? Okay.
Yeah, because like the whole Russ dynamic was out of control.
That's why he left, so yeah.
Right, so like even if you went back and said, oh, KD's staying, it's still that tension, it's still that like that burden of like, okay, we're not the cute young guys anymore, or the cute young kids. We're the ones that are like, what have you done for us lately? And that's...
So here's how I see it, is you keep KD, maybe you move on from Russell, and you still find a championship level team. It's also like, he is right now one of the top 10 players of all time. Will SGA ever get to that point? I don't know.
Probably not. But
I'm going to argue that KD was more fun to watch than SGA, especially the combo of him and Russell.
Sure.
So you put all that stuff together, and right now you're not promised a championship. You're just favored for 2 rounds, which is why I phrased it that way.
But so is 2017. It wouldn't at that point they weren't promised anything. They
had just came off of having a 3-1 lead in the Western
the conference finals. Okay, well they got a 1-0 lead in the conference finals right now, and that's already a start. What I would argue is that this team is better. KD is better than anyone on this team, but this team is better.
Don't sleep on Andre Roberson.
Oh my God, that guy. Roberson.
That's a good question. Roberson. I'm not sure.
Last one, I remember it was the one from Florida was one way, and the one from
yes.
So that's what always confused me, because there were 2 Robertsons. One was Roberson, one was Roberson. Doesn't matter.
They both played for Billy Donovan. Wow, how about that?
Yeah, there's touche. All right, so last one up here for this segment. Before the game, broadcast cameras caught SGA during Coach Dagnall's pregame speech. And yeah, this was his pose, and the internet went crazy with that. the internet went crazy. So did our producers because they found all these other never before pictures of SGA at the spa. Well, there he is, relaxing.
That's not how you lay on those tables.
Rafting, that's
better.
Yeah, that's always fun. What about chilling at home? Well, sometimes when you just
is that heart-shaped bed?
Honeymoon suite. Sometimes with your friends at the water park. Yeah, just come on down. That's when they're going to take a picture. You want to be there in style. And then, of course, when you're getting your portrait done.
Oh, that's the main
paint
one.
Me like one of your French girls. I was actually looking for the Seinfeld one. Remember when George was taking the risque pictures?
Yes, that was a little bit more like this, though, right?
That's true.
Less, there was less of this. I would say that that's a pretty respectful pose if you're going to lay on the floor listening to Coach. Like, you don't want to be like legs splayed out and be like, "What's going on, Coach?" Like that's probably the respectful way to sit.
I don't know. I like roll up the towel for a makeshift pillow, and then. Like I like doing I'm a corpse. I put my hands on my chest and then
yes.
Yeah.
I try not to sleep that way because it makes me think of dying. I'd like to wake up.
Speaking of corpses, hot streak. Did we win or lose last week?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah. All right, welcome back to Oddball. Time for hot streak. Hot Streak is presented by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, crown is yours. So last week we picked the Warriors to cover plus 5.5 in game 4 against the Wolves. They did not. So let's get a streak going. Let's start a new one. Here are some games we could choose from, Izzy. Got Pacers at Knicks minus 4.5. That's tonight, obviously. Or we could go, who's going to win the series?
Let's do both. Let's do tonight and we'll do the series. How about that?
Okay. All right. So what do you like? Pacers plus 4.5, Knicks minus 4.5.
We know that the game one is kind of the sort of the potential anomaly game, right? Especially with a little bit of time off for both teams. Yeah. To me, that clearly favors the home team. But I think the way the Pacers play, man, they're just going to put up so many shots or, increase the pace of the game. Their defense is pretty strong. I think they'll keep it close. In fact, I think they might win outright. So my first instinct is to go Pacers plus 4.5.
Yeah, like the Knicks are going to win in the margins. They typically don't blow out. I know game 6 they did the Celtics, but typically they're going to win the close ones. And so, yeah, plus 4.5, I'm very comfortable with taking the Pacers there. Now, let's do the fun one, Izzy. Yeah, Pacers to win the series at plus 125 or Knicks to win the series at minus 145.
Oh, man. I have to start thinking about conspiracy theories, right? Mm-hmm. And whether the league wants New York to be in the final. I actually think it makes for a funnier, longer story if the Knicks never actually make it to the finals again. My instinct is to take the Pacers in this series. I think they have, they have more consistent defensive play, I would say. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's any real holes in that defense. I like the pace at which they play. And again, I ask you this question, the deeper we go into the playoffs, are you trusting Karl Anthony Towns more or less?
Trusting him less. But as everyone knows who watched the show earlier this week, New York, baby, the Knicks are going to win, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Knicks. But also, if you put a plus sign in front of any bet, you automatically have my attention. So
seriously.
I'm going to bet Pacers to win the series plus 125. But the Knicks are going to take it all, baby. Going back to the finals, baby. But again,
have you checked the number if you combine that with the Minnesota Timberwolves win?
Oh my gosh, can I parlay those two things?
I'm guessing it's a plus and maybe 4 digits behind it.
Wow. Okay. Maybe I need to look at the app.
I mean, do you have any Eastern European in you? You don't have to answer that. I know the answer to that. But there's this Russian draft prospect, all right? We had to ask you about him in particular. I'm not going to try to say his name. It's a very difficult name to say. But the Oddball scouting department says you two might be distant cousins. Here, check him out. Does that look familiar, Amin, or does that look familiar? That is essentially.
He's shooting to the here's the thing about my shot, which is awful. Everything up until my release looked fine. If you pause his before the release, the ball's all the way out to the side.
This is definitely a tomato-potato situation because do you want it to look good up until the release, but then it to go way right and the ball to go out off to the right, or do you want this wraparound and then the ball goes in the hoop?
I mean, I'm always going to pick going in the hoop for sure. By the way, that video of me, the 2 shots before that I drained, that's the whole reason the guy started recording. He's like, oh, it means.
And then he decided to shoot a sideways shot and waved it by
it got away from me. It happens, man.